Hi, in this video tutorial, we'll be using Soundflower to pass multiple audio tracks from Ableton Live into VDMX. We'll then use audio analysis in VDMX to control 4 different layers that are each audio reactive in different ways. So in this setup in Live, I have 4 different tracks, just so you can hear them. There's nothing too magic going on. In fact, it's quite the masterpiece that I've thrown together very, very quickly by clicking randomly. Now, if I go into the Live preferences, what I want to do is instead of sending this audio to my built-in output, I want to route this to Soundflower 64 channel. If you go under the output config section here, you can configure the number of mono or stereo output pairs that you need. If you need more or less, you can enable them in Live. So in this case, I just want to do 4 mono tracks, so I'm going to just enable those and close the preferences. If you don't have the section over here for your audio routing for individual tracks, there's this I/O section here, so this will hide and show this. Now, instead of routing my audio to the master output, I'm going to choose external out, and for each one of these, select a different audio channel from my output. And once again, this corresponds to the output channels that I set up in the Live preferences, so if you need more of them, you can use the option to configure, and once again, you can add more of them over here, and more will show up in this list if you need them. So once I have that set up, I'll still want to be able to preview this in my built-in output. So I'm going to launch Soundflower Bed, which is an audio routing app that comes with Soundflower, and in that menu, I can choose that I want Soundflower 64 channel to go to my built-in output. And additionally, if you need to do a channel routing, so in this case I want to send channels 3 and 4 to my speakers as well, you'll notice that these are all set to none over here. So if you need to do additional channel routing or buffer size changing, those can be adjusted in this menu up here once you've launched the Soundflower Bed. So if I press play on these, I can still hear them even though they are going to Soundflower right now. But for now, I'm going to turn each of these off because I'm going to want to do some setup in VDMX, and we don't want to be distracted. So I'm going to tab over to VDMX where I have 4 layers already created. 3 of these are running interactive generators, and the 4th one is playing back a movie file. So what I'm going to do is for each one of these create a separate audio analysis plugin. So by default, the audio analysis plugin will listen to whatever your system default input is. In this case, it's been built-in microphone. So I'm just going to go and switch it to Soundflower 64 channel, and you'll notice that immediately it stops reacting because there's nothing playing right now. And I'll switch this to channel 1 because we're going to want to preview this channel now. If I hit play and then tab back over to VDMX, we'll see it showing up here. And if I need to, I can move around my audio analysis filter bands to the appropriate places. In this particular case, I just want my heart to move up based off of the overall level of the audio analysis. So I'm going to use the peak frequency magnitude option. But if I want to then have maybe the section limited for the heart so it doesn't go all the way, I can use the range handle here. And say we want to change the color of it to be audio reactive as well, I can assign these data sources from my individual filters. Looking pretty good there. Alright, so now I'm just going to do the same thing again and create another audio analysis plugin, position it, change it to Soundflower, and this time, of course, channel 2. Now if I go over to Live and we'll see that one coming to life here. Looking good. So now let's just route this again, audio analysis 2 this time. And I'll just pick some stuff here to connect this to. And maybe limit the range again. Cool. Alright, now one trick that you can do when you're doing a lot of this is you can do this option to duplicate a selected plugin, and it'll create a hidden plugin, but you'll see that it's duplicated from the previous one. And in this particular case, it's just going to save me the channel routing option, but this will automatically be assigned. And now I'll just go and activate our third channel, and we'll see that come to life. In this particular case, I'm using an ISF source called a new one I made called Radial Wavescope, but you can also use maybe let's try the FFT color lines, and if I choose this one, I can grab the FFT images out of that track and wave. And now we have a track that's generating an image using the waveform itself from that layer, instead of using the direct audio analysis filter bands, which we could still use, for whatever else. If we want to change the wave size, we can have any of these, of course, being audio reactive, or the colors, but I really enjoy this FFT and waveform trick. And now, I'll just create one final audio analysis and set it to channel 4, and activate our final track in live. And this time, I'm going to adjust the movie playback head. I'm going to pause the movie and have its audio analysis driven by and here I'll position this. And if you want to be able to see these a little bit clearer what's going on, I can pause these. But when everything is going on all at once, those signals would be rather confused. And you can see that there's a rather complex output, and you can't really tell what's controlling what, which is kind of what you're going for in these situations. You don't want to make it too obvious what's happening. So, I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on using multi-track audio from Live into VDMX. Yeah. Have a good day.